make a video to show a comparison of the Trangia heater, one of the Zip firelighters, as you can see in the box, an Esbit fuel block thing, and a Hexamine block. Just going to be using the Pathfinder Cook Set. Everything will be kind of the same. I'll also have check temperatures if that will read them. I'll be using normal fire source, and I will also be timing them on my dodgy stopwatch. So I'll just get set up and we'll start off with the Zip fire blocks. I'll be doing a comparison on how long they burn for, and also how long it takes, if it will, to boil 500 ml of water using the same cook set for each source of heat. I'm going to start off with the Zip packet, which can stay in the packets actually. So just light one of those in view. So we're just going to light it in the packet, give it a second to come off. We'll place it over the top, make sure there's no grass or anything in the way. Place on the Pathfinder bottle, and I will put 500 ml of water in there. I can see the measurements. Okay, as you can see, they're quite smoky. Actually, very smoky. We're just going to see what the effect is on that. Just adjust the camera a little bit. I better start the stopwatch in there. Okay, so stopwatch is now going as well. You'll see what that does. It's going to make a bit of a sooty mess on my stuff, but it'll wash. So we'll see in a minute. I'll carry on with the video in a moment once it gets going. As you can see, there's some good flames coming out of it heat-wise at the moment. 202 degrees at the moment. Water is 25 degrees. That's been running for a minute. So I'll just pause the video and then we'll carry on once it starts to get up to temperature. Okay, with the hang on, just killed my phone. There we go at the 3-minute mark. Sorry, I just caught the button there. Water temperature is increasing slowly. Block is going from, it's about 250 degrees. I measured it out a moment ago. Try and get an accurate read on it. Okay. We're still running on the stopwatch at 4 minutes. Water temperature slowly going up. Five-minute mark check-in. 5 minutes. Still going. It's still burning away. There's still quite a bit left on the block, and the water is getting quite hot to touch. Just a quick in tribute to Chris Prepared by 101, background noise. Don't you love it? We're now at the 10-minute mark. As you can see on the stopwatch, it's still burning. The water is starting to boil. There is still quite a bit left on the brick at the moment, so we're going to leave it running and see what I can get out of it. I was going to do a separate test of the burn times, but I mean it's going to burn the same under there as it is on its own, so we'll leave it burning for a minute. Okay, so we're coming up to the 15-minute. Well, we've just hit the 15-minute mark, as you can see. I think as far as any usable heat coming from that block is concerned, I think we've seen about it. It is still burning, but there's only a small flame on it. It's not really doing much now, so I mean, as far as getting a fire lit is concerned, yeah, for sure, definitely they're brilliant, but it's not actually, although I've got steam coming off the water, it's not actually bubbling, or, you know, I mean, I don't think I've hit full boil on it yet. So we'll stop this one, and we'll move on to the next one, which will be the Esbit. So back in a second. As you can see, I've got the Esbit block in place. I'm going to use my multi-tool to get that back in roughly the right area. Light it. Nearly touched it. It's going to be a bit warm. I think it's a light. Just make sure. Obviously, I mean, they've got the proper Esbit stove for this, but we just want to keep them all so the test is accurate and the same for each one. So, yeah, that's a light now. Just level that up. Cup is empty. And we'll go for the 500ml. Fill up again. Well, should have enough. Just a tad under. So that's now a light. We got about 15 minutes burn out of the zip block. And we're going to start now with the Esbit. Let's see what that does. I'm expecting a bit more with this one. But back in a second. Just to add that the Esbit block, as you know, is a little bit smaller than the zip and also the Hexamine. But I used the Pathfinder Stove, as I say, for consistency. I know not everyone's got one probably, but it's just to give you accurate results. Same water, same amount of water, same cooking vessel, and the same stove. Esbit is still tugging away, and we are currently at 2-minute mark. Okay, at this point, because I didn't quite put the 500ml in before, we're now at the 3-minute mark. Not ideal, I know, but it's going to add a bit more water. So we're now at the 500ml mark, the same as the zip block. Okay, still running with the Esbit. We're now at the 5.5, just over 5.5 minute mark. Still burning away. Water's getting warmer. And just as a note, the zip has just gone out. That's finally burnt out. Okay, we just passed the 9.5 minute mark with the Esbit block on just the path with the Pathfinder Stove and 500ml of water. It's kind of, as you can see, I think the water is steaming a little bit, but it's not, again, not boiled, and the Esbit has all but gone out. There's a kind of flicker of flame at the bottom. On the actual Esbit stove with the Esbit mug, it does work really well, and it will boil the water. Again, just to reiterate that I want to keep consistency on what I'm using to test. So I don't think that's going to bring that to any kind of boil or anything, so we'll stop it there. Next will be the Hexamine block, normal sort of British issue. I'll be right back. Okay, next is the Hexamine block, normal military British Army type thing. Again, using the Pathfinder Stove. Keep nearly picking it up and burning myself. It's still going to be a bit warm. I'll light it the same way. think that's just about a light. Yep. I'll place the mug back on top. Back to the 500 millilitres of water. I think that's going. Start the clock. You can see that on there. And this is a Hexamine block from the British issue Hexamine heater things that we used to have. So we've got the clock going, and that's now going update in a second. Currently at the 2.5 minute mark, as you can see on the out of focus stopwatch. Got good flame coming from this. Obviously it is the biggest of the block type burners, heaters, firelighters, whatever you want to call it. You could cut it down, make it smaller if you wanted to. But we're leaving the test running. Gotta love the smell of Hexamine. As you can see, got some good flames coming from the Hexamine, whatever you want to call it. I feel sorry for my Pathfinder set though. It's looking a bit black, but it'll wash and it's made to be used, so no problem there. And I'm sure the quality of Pathfinder is not going to be an issue either. Ticking along, coming up to the 5 minute mark on that. There you go, just hit the 5 minute mark. Still crap loads left on the burner, so on the block. So we'll let it run. Just another point of notice is with that block in there, the air, wind, whatever you want to call it, seems to be swirling around, so you get the odd lick of flame coming out, but it just seemed to be keeping it all inside. It's coming out the back a little bit as well, as you can see, grass on fire, but hey, all adds to the heat. Just hit the 10 minute mark on the Hexamine block. The water is starting to bubble, so I think we might actually boil some water with this one. As you can see, we're now at 10 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay, we just passed the 12 minutes and 45. The Hexamine is completely gone. I did start to get the water bubbling a little bit. As you can see, it's steaming away quite nicely, but no kind of rolling boil ability. I mean, that's where obviously a proper fire would come in, which is not what this video is about. It's about just comparing the abilities of the blocks, basically. I think, yeah, the Hexamine is totally gone now, and we're at 13 minutes and 12 seconds. Okay, next up is the Trangia. Obviously not a fire brick or anything like that, but just for while we're here, this is a cheap eBay jobby. I think my cat's now about to pay me a visit. Colin, go away. Colin, go away. Go on, burn yourself, you donut. There's methylated spirits in it. That's what I had to hand. Just like that. Yeah, it's definitely burning. Let's say a little eBay cheapy jobby. I will be getting the Pathfinder stove this week. I do like the Pathfinder stuff. I've got that underneath. Same again, middle's burning. Obviously got to wait for it to ignite properly around the edges. 500 millilitres of water. I'll wait for that to get going and I'll be back on in a second. And start the timer. I think that's now getting going. It should pop into life in a minute. I expect the results to be a bit better on this one. It is a different type of heater. And it's obviously nearer to the base of the cooking vessel. But just while we're here, I thought I'd just throw that in there as well. So back in a second. Just coming up to the 5 minute mark. Still going quite well, obviously. It's not a block, so as you can hear, I don't know whether you can hear actually. That's all fully ignited now, fully alight, so we'll leave it See how it goes. See if we can boil some water. Just past the 10-minute mark. I think it's still going, and the water's starting to bubble a little bit. So, yeah, I think it's got hotter quicker. Leave it running for a minute. At the 15-minute mark, just over. As you can see on the stopwatch, with the Trangia eBay special, with methylated spirits. Again, that's all I had at hand. The water is starting to boil. It's taken a while. Obviously, I mean, these are just, in the real world, you just build a fire and stick it on, you know, plonk your cookware on the fire. This is purely, I wanted everything the same on the concrete, you know, blah, blah, blah. Trangia you could use without the stove, just dump the cup on top and probably work better. Same with the Esbit, use the proper Esbit stove. It does work quite well actually on its own, but it just shows that there are specific uses and ways to use stuff. The zip firelighters are pretty cool, considering they're cheap. You buy a box from Asda, sorry, for £2.90 there for 16. Blocks are slightly smaller than the US ones, but still work really well. Conclusion: zip are excellent for lighting fires. Esbit work really well on the Esbit fuel stove. Hexamines work quite well. And obviously the Trangia is what it is. It's a little kind of cooker. Gives me HeinnieHaynes now going over. Gotta love the noises. All would serve their purpose. They work quite well. I'm quite impressed with the zips. I know Chris from Prepared Mind done a good video on them, and I don't think they're anything new, but they're certainly good, certainly bang for the buck for getting a fire going. I mean, they last really, really well. Ultimately, you can't beat a proper fire, so that would be the way I would go if I was able to with some of these blocks, and like the Trangia and stuff. If you're in an urban environment and all you have is a concrete floor, you can still warm stuff up, and perhaps if you built if I put a bit better wind kind of protector around it, it'd probably work a little bit better. But yeah, so that concludes this video. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. There will be more videos coming. I've been a bit slow lately, but got some other bits and bobs I'd like to do videos on. Hopefully this kind of illustrates the effectiveness of different blocks. There are other types, other methods of warming your water or boiling your water or whatever, or heating your food. This is just the ones that I wanted to do today. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Also, quick shout out to Chris from Prepared Mind 101. Loving the videos. Urban Prepper. Keep those coming. Look forward to the earthquake videos. Funky Prepper. Sorry for your loss, brother. Very, very sad, but hopefully the big meat, 250 meat coming up will be good. And yeah, that's it, rounded up. Thanks for watching. Look forward to making more videos, and please like and subscribe using the buttons below.